Alright, so here is lesson 2 for unit 3. We're going to look at quadratic regression. Quadratic regression is finding the quadratic equation. So basically we're looking at y equals, and a quadratic equation has this form. So you have ax squared plus bx plus c. So what we do here is we plug in numbers for these, for a, b, and c, and then we have our equation that best fits a set of data using the equation for prediction and using the equation for prediction. So I'm going to teach you how do we enter the table in Desmos, and then also I'm going to teach you how do we perform the quadratic regression using this form. So basically we need to learn how to type all of this in Desmos. Once you do it this way, it will give you your A, B, and C to plug into your equation. Okay? So here's the first example. It says to write an equation. So I write a quadratic function. So to put a quadratic function, we're going to have f of x equals, and then we need to put, find a number for a, and then you're going to put x squared, and then we're going to find the number for b, x, and then we're going to find the number for c. So once we can find these numbers, we can just plug them into our quadratic function, okay, to find the equation. So what we're going to do is, first step, we're going to go to Desmos, okay, and then, let me make it, do it side by side. So we're going to plug this data into our Desmos. To do that, you need to press this button right here where it says add item. Then we're going to click table. So by default, it's going to say x1, y1. Even though our table here doesn't say x1, y1, this is just a way to keep track of what list we're talking about. So if we were to like do another list, you see the second list and we would plug in number. If we keep going, it would say list 3. But in our problem, there's only one list, so I just need to put list 1. So I'm going to just plug in these numbers. So you're going to do -3, plug in -2, and then when you hit enter, it just predicts what's next. -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then let me plug in my y values. So 35, 21, 11, 5, 3, 5, and 11. And notice, 11. Notice that it does, like, you know, plot the points for you as you're plugging them in. And if you notice, it's kind of taking the shape of a parabola. So it looks like a quadratic equation would best fit this set of points. And if I zoom out, there's a few more points. There's one more point here. Okay. All right. So what is that equation of the curve that goes through this right here? So to find the numbers here that go through this curve, the A, B, and C, the next step is we're going to put in the quadratic form. So I do have it written here on your notes. So we need to type this up here. And it can get a little complicated, so, but we'll learn. So you're going to put Y, and then if you just press Y1, it puts the 1 at the bottom. And so now Desmos, it is reading from this list. Y1, it says it has 7 elements in this list, and it does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. So it is reading the right list. And this symbol here, tilde, it means regression, regressed. So to find that, either you can find it on your keyboard, it's right under the escape button, or if you press it here, you can find the tilde over here. So we're not going to put equals to, we're going to put this tilde. So we're asking Desmos to build the equation. And then we're going to keep typing. So you're going to put A, x1, x1. I'm going to go back to my, okay, if I press 1, it puts the 1 down here. Now, this x1, the x after the A, does need the square, and so that it reads it as a quadratic. So I'm going to go ahead and press the square. So now I have it in the right form, ax1 squared plus bx. So let me find b here. B x, and then make sure to put 1 so that it reads it from the right list. And notice that it is starting to build this equation, and we don't have the CN yet, and so it's kind of going through all the points, but not really. Let me see if it does a closer match once I add plus C. And of course the A, X, and all these letters, you can test type it in your keyboard on your computer, okay? But I also wanted to show you where you can find it here. And there you go. It did find an equation that goes through the points. Now, it might not always go perfectly through like it did here, but in this case, it did. And so here are my A, B, and C. So to finish writing this, so we're going to have f of x equals A is 2, right here, 2. And then, so you're going to put 2x squared plus b, and b there is negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to minus 4x plus c, and c is equal to 5 right here. So 2, negative 4, and 5, and I'm just plugging it in here. And that is my equation of my function. That's my formula. So let me go ahead and erase this and just kind of test it. So if I have here 2x squared plus minus 4x plus 5 is equal to this function. And then you can see if the table matches. And I mean, again, most of the time it won't exactly match, but you can kind of see. So does 3 go to 35? So 3 goes to 35. The easiest way to check it is either you can plug in that point, so 3, 35, and you might have to zoom out. Sorry, negative 3, 35, sorry. Negative 3, and yeah, it does, it's right on there. You can test them if you want. Another quick way you can test it is you can go here and you can go to edit list, and then you can convert it into a table, and you can find to see your points if they match up also. And again, we'll see an example where it's not going to match up exactly, but close enough. The last thing I'm going to show you about this problem is when we did the regression, okay, when we did this regression right here, it gave me this r squared, okay? This r squared, we call it the correlation relation. You don't have to really know it for this unit, but I'll just show it to you. Is equal to 1. This is basically saying that it is 100% match. That's why the numbers are matching up exactly. Let's try example 2.